Welcome in, Seahawks Today, sponsored by HexClad. You can get 10% off and use the promo code CHAT at checkout. We'll tell you more about what they do coming up in today's show. We have the latest Seattle Seahawks news and rumors as we are talking about a possible free agent signing of Jaylon Smith for the Seahawks. Also, we'll share with you what Louis Riddick had to say about the Seahawks and how optimistic he is about this team going forward. And we also have an update on Bobby Wagner to get to coming up at the end of today's show. Before we get to any of that, though, folks, we are closing in on 38.5 thousand subscribers here on the channel, about 92 away from reaching that milestone, less than 100 away. Join the family now. Subscribe for free today so you never miss a moment of the latest happenings in your favorite team with daily news and rumors. Live shows on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Also, on the channel, we are bringing in our watch parties during the season as well. This is the place for the diehard Seahawks fans. Subscribe now for free today. You'll be glad you did. We've talked a lot of players throughout the offseason as possibilities for the Seattle Seahawks to bring in, whether it be free agent signing or trade. One player we have not talked about is Jaylon Smith, who you may remember from the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants, and he's had a decent career to this point. Former Seahawks wide receiver Michael Bumpus actually is the one who suggested this idea of the possibility of the Seahawks bringing him in. And when you listen to the idea that Bumpus brings up, it makes a lot of sense for the Seahawks. Here's more of what he had to say on Seattle Sports Radio 710. What I need is a guy to be a depth piece who's been there, who's done that, and there's a man by the name of Jaylon Smith who's a free agent right now. You don't need him to come in and be a starter right now. You need him to bring that veteran presence. You need him to be a solid backup. You need him to contribute on special teams, and he's not going to cost much. You have Devin Bush to start, and obviously Bobby Wagner is going to start, but you need a solid backup. I like Nick Ballore. I like Riddick, but I want to see a true linebacker, a guy who's been there, who's done that. You got to take a look at Jaylon Smith. Now, here's the other factor that Bumpus didn't mention there is the Jordan Brooks effect. And we've been told that Jordan Brooks is doing everything he can to make it back in time for when the season begins. But without knowing if Jordan Brooks is going to be available or not. Remember, his injury was very late in the season last year. The Seahawks have to have a backup plan of some sorts. And Smith is a perfect option as far as I'm concerned of being the backup plan that Seattle is looking for, a proven player. And, I mean, put it this way. If Jordan Brooks isn't ready, you can't just sit on your loins and be okay with what you have. You have to do something. Smith, I think, is a perfect solution for what Seattle could potentially be looking for. A Pro Bowler back in 2019, played in 13 games with 11 starts in 2022. As mentioned previously, played for the Giants, the Packers, and the Cowboys. He's had a pretty decent career to this point, and with the experience he brings to the table, to me, that makes a lot of sense. In fact, I think he could compete with Devin Bush potentially for playing time as far as I'm concerned. So we'll see what happens. Jaylon Smith could be a possibility for Seattle. Numbers on Jaylon Smith, we'll bring you those right now. You can see last year wasn't a great season, 38 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 sack, but he's not too far removed from a season in 2020 where he had 154 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks. 2019, 142 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. And then back in 2018, 121 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. So, should the Seahawks sign Jaylon Smith or not? Your chance to weigh in the comment section. Let me know. Y for yes, N for no. Should the Seahawks bring him in? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Y for yes, N for no, if they should sign Jaylon Smith or not. All right, guys, it's time to talk about your kitchen. And no, I'm not talking about your roommate's dishes in the sink. Today's sponsor, HexClad, has revolutionized the cookware industry with a hybrid pan that gives you all the convenience and cleanup of non-stick, the versatility of your grandma's cast iron, and a lifetime warranty. just in case you find a way to destroy them. Use promo code CHAT at hexclad.com/chat for 10% off. Hexclad truly checks every single box when it comes to picking your cookware. They are metal utensil safe, dishwasher safe, and oven safe up to 500 degrees. Don't just take my word for it. Celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay uses them at home too. The sear I get with these pans is incredible with absolutely no stick. The temperature control is utter perfection, and the cleanup is effortless. I love using Hexclad at home. They're also the sexiest pans in the market. So, score points at home. It's time to stop ordering delivery food and start cooking like a big boy with Hexclad. Real cuisine isn't made in a microwave. It's cooked in a Hexclad. For a limited time, get 10% off with our special link, hexclad.com/chat. That's 10% off at hexclad.com/chat with code CHAT. I'll show you the pan, as you can see here. This stuff is sturdy, and it looks really good, too. I'm a fan. This can be yours today for 10% off at hexclad.com with promo code CHAT at checkout. That is hexclad.com/chat, promo code CHAT for more. Louis Riddick, ESPN analyst, had some high praises for the Seattle Seahawks as he named Seattle as the NFC's sleeper team. Very interesting to hear this from Louis. Smart man, knows what he's talking about. And it's been an eventful last couple days at ESPN. Very sad to see, by the way, former Seahawk great Matt Hasselbeck got let go, among others. But nonetheless, Louis, glad he's still got a job there at ESPN. Here is what Louis had to say on the Rich Eisen Show about the Seattle Seahawks. That division is wide open. It is right for them to take this year and go on and really get on a good run. This is their year. Seattle is that team this year that can surprise everyone in the NFC, period. They got players. Seattle's for real. I think that team, for me, they win the West. So there you have it from Louis Riddick predicting the Seahawks will win the NFC West. So I want to go over 4 different things of my keys to success to do what Louis Riddick just talked about, to win the NFC West. What's it going to take? Starts with the quarterback position. Geno Smith has to build upon what he did last year and continue to succeed, continue to be successful. Can't take a step back from what he was last season. The rookies in one of the most important rookie classes in the history of the Seattle Seahawks. When you look at guys like Devin Witherspoon, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Derek Hall, Zach Charbonnet, among others, these rookies are going to have to become key contributors right away. There's not a whole lot of time for these guys to just sit back and learn and adjust. They got to be ready to go pretty quickly and have that impact for this team to be able to take that next step up from where they were in 2022. On offense, it's all gas, no brakes for this team as far as I'm concerned. When you look at where the Seahawks are at offensively with their weapons, we mentioned the quarterback position with Geno Smith, but the wideouts with DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, JSN, the tight end room with Fant and Disley, and the running backs, we already mentioned Charbonnet, but also adding in Kenneth Walker. There's no reason why this team shouldn't have one of the more high-powered offenses in the league and put that pedal to the metal. Don't let off the gas and go attack these defenses. Wear them out, score points, score fast, give them hell. Give them 60 minutes of hell as far as I'm concerned. All gas, no brakes. And then on defense, stopping the run is going to be key. This was the biggest problem the Seahawks faced all of last year. We mentioned Jaylon Smith earlier. If you bring him in, you know what he's really good at? Run stopping. And this Seahawks team, if they're going to compete at a high level, has to do a much better job in 2023 of stopping the run on defense. If they do these 4 things, you watch out. The Seahawks are going to be in great shape to win the division, as you saw Louis Riddick predict there. So, true or false? What do you think? Be honest here on Seahawks today. The Seahawks will win the NFC West. Type T for true, type F for false. Let me know what you think. Is it going to happen or not? T for true, F for false. Weigh in the comment section and let me know. Last note before we go, Bobby Wagner getting some high praise from USA Today as they have named him one of the top 3 linebackers in the National Football League heading into 2023. Here's more from USA Today. The 32-year-old Wagner looked about like he's always looked in 2022. He's been on a Hall of Fame track for a while now, and last season he had 6 sacks, 3 quarterback hits, 11 quarterback hurries, 89 solo tackles, and 50 stops. He also allowed 37 catches on 48 targets for 420 yards, 332 yards after the catch, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 5 pass breakups, and an opponent passer rating of 94.2. Getting Bobby Wagner back was big, right? Not just for morale within this organization, getting a future Hall of Fame player and everything, but you got a guy that's still one of the best linebackers in the league. And it's funny, last week we put out some video and we were talking about breakout players. And I kept getting comments from folks saying that Bobby Wagner was going to have a breakout year. I'm like, how's that possible? There's no breakouts when you're a future Hall of Famer. And even when he went away to Los Angeles last year, I know some people don't want to admit it, but he was incredible last year with the LA Rams. New system, new uniform, and everything. He didn't miss a beat last year in LA. Now he comes to Seattle, a place that he's familiar with, and I think Bobby's going to continue to play great, and you got him on a cheap deal. 1 year, $5.5 million. Obviously, that can go up to $7 million with incentives. It was an incredible situation for Seattle to bring Bobby back and to get him for as cheap as they did, a guy that's still as good as anyone out there, and as represented there by USA Today, naming him one of the top 3 linebackers in the league. Here's the last 4 seasons for Bobby Wagner. In 2022, had 140 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 5 pass breakups, and 2 interceptions with the Los Angeles Rams. The year prior in Seattle, had 170 tackles with 3 tackles for loss, 5 pass breakups, and 1 interception. Watch out. Bobby Wagner, I think, is in for a spectacular season with the Seahawks in 2023. What's your favorite memory of Bobby Wagner? There's so many to choose from over the years, but what comes to mind in particular? Tell me in the comments section what your favorite memory of Bobby Wagner is. Hit me up on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Tyler Jones Live. The Summer of Jones continuing. Just got back from a weekend in Chicago. Enjoyed the NASCAR street race out there. Maybe we can get a street race in Seattle one of these days. I would love to see that. In the meantime, though, as we continue celebrating the 4th of July weekend, I'll have you covered here on the channel as well as social media as well with any updates going on with your Seattle Seahawks. And I'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today.